My name is Tracey Syphax, and you're watching What's Your Point of View? Author, entrepreneur from the block to the boardroom. We'll be discussing everything from the block to the boardroom on Your Point of View.
Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me what's your point of view? It is your view. Point of view. Point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View.
Hello everyone, welcome to What's Your Point of View? I am your host, Amanda Johnson, and I thank you for tuning in for another amazing segment. On this segment, we have the awesome author, Tracey Syphax, and we are going to talk about his book, From the Block to the Boardroom. Welcome, Tracey.
Amanda, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
I am glad you were able to make it. This book, I got my copy. You got to get yours. But we're going to jump. Let's first give everybody a little information about who Tracey is.
Well, Tracey Syphax is born in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Grew up in Trenton, lived in Trenton basically all my life. Went to Trenton High. Got in trouble as a young kid growing up, drugs and selling drugs and stuff. Ended up spending about 7 years in prison. And just made a vow in 1993 when I came home that I was going to change my life around. And since then, we've been able to create a couple of $1 million corporations. And we just work hard on in what we do as far as running our business, but we also work hard on in the field of reentry and the mass incarceration. Because one thing that we never will forget is where we came from.
And I know a lot of people eyebrows when it was like, what? He did time?
Yeah, a lot of people have a hard time believing I have a state number.
They be like, no, say it. But as soon as you say that, I know that it gives a lot of people hope.
Yeah.
Because sometimes once you get in the system, you don't have a lot of hope after you come out. So let's get into your book, From the Block to the Boardroom. So we just gonna start right with a text here, because it says, "The streets prepared me for business." Talk to us about that.
Well, you know, I tell people all the time some of our greatest minds and some of our best entrepreneurs are in prison. When you look at the war on drugs and what it has done to our community, and you know, one of the things and some of the attributes of a good entrepreneur is that you have to have ability to take risks.
Yeah.
A lot of our brothers and sisters take risks every day. It takes a lot of heart to go up into a liquor store with a pistol. It takes a lot of heart to stand on the corner with drugs in your pocket. It takes a lot of heart to do a lot of things that we do.
Yeah.
And it's the same as business. I've been in business now for over 20-something years, and I've had my ups and I had my downs. I took a lot of risks, took some losses, had a lot of rewards. It's basically the same game. It's just done in a positive way versus the negative way.
See, a lot of people, I know they definitely they're gonna have to get a copy of this book, because now when you said, when God came calling,
Wow.
I answered the devil. Talk to us about that part of the book.
So a few people asked me that question about that. That statement was back in 1988. I remember I got shot. I was out in the streets and I got shot, and spent about 3 weeks in a coma. Bullets still lodged near my spine. Almost lost my life, and I was in the hospital for almost a month and a half, and ended up checking myself out of the hospital because I was a user. So I was sick when I was there, and ended up checking myself out of the hospital. And at that time, while I was out, I went right back to the corner, right back to the streets, right back to what I was doing. And as time and a week or two went on, I ended up catching a pneumonia. Ended up being back in the hospital once again, and basically almost lost my life. And that's when I say, when God came calling, I answered the devil, because I went right back, even after being almost dead. I went right back to the streets and right back to what I was doing before I got shot.
Now, your testimony is, you kind of went down a couple people's lives, a couple people's list, just being in, being out, being on drugs, being out, being shot, getting better. So what is it that kept you, that time when you finally got out? What's the difference maker for when you get out and you what finally clicked to make you stay out?
Well, I was in my early 30s when I came home the last time, and basically spent 15, 16 years in the street then. I had a wife, I had 2 kids, and I just came to a point in my life. I knew I just had to change. I could not continue doing the same thing I was doing and going through the same stuff I was going through. And I remember my grandmother told me one time when I got shot, she talked to me and she said, Tracy, God is going to find you in your darkest hour. She said, I can pray all I want for you, and only until he finds you in your darkest hour, you only go then know who you truly are. And when she told me that, I remembered that. I remember spending some time in Rahway, Aztec Rahway, which is 23-hour lockup. You're in a cell for 23 hours a day. I spent a year straight there. And I remember those words that my grandmother told me, and I read the Bible from cover to cover. So it was at that time and at that moment in my life, and they said, take some of the worst things that happened to you to help you change your life. I was in Aztec for something that I didn't do in prison. And I spent a year there for something that I didn't do. So it gave me the opportunity, and people say all the time that everything happened for a reason, but I think that opportunity gave me an opportunity to look at myself, to really get into myself and who I was and who I was in the past and who I wanted to be in the future. And when I think I did that and I went through that transformation, I came out of there in '92. I went to Camden, Riverfront State Prison in Camden, New Jersey. And I was just a changed man. I took a course called the Amir course, which teaches African American studies. I got to learn so much about African American history, so much about so many entrepreneurs like Madam C.J. Walker and A.J. Gasson, people who have started businesses, multi-million-dollar business, through slavery and coming out of Jim Crow and with little money. So I just, after hearing that and listening and really finding out who I am, I just came home in '93 with, listen, I know who I am now. I didn't know who I was before, but I know who I am now. And I started setting my life on a straighter path.
I can see why you wrote a book. You have experienced a lot. Now, talk to us about one of the programs that you have for reentry. Give us some information about that.
Well, a few things that I do. I believe in, number one, I believe in prevention. I work with a lot of our young kids now. I'm the chairman of the board of a 16-year-old business nonprofit that teaches entrepreneurship skills to 6th and 7th graders. I think if I would have had that when I was in the 6th and 7th grade, knowing that I was an entrepreneur then, I wouldn't have went down the route that I went down. So I've been doing this program now for about 16 years. As I said, I'm the chairman of the board. It's an award-winning program, rated top 10 in America by Johns Hopkins University for 2010 and 2011 as one of the best entrepreneurship programs in the country. But it gives me a great honor, and actually going to be with the kids this Friday because they read from my book. They use my book as a case study. So they read from my book, and I go up there and I speak with the kids and have a conversation with them about real life issues, but also, and mainly as in the book, I'd be able to try to give them something to go with. You know what I mean? Give them the blueprint, as in the last chapter of our book is the blueprint, and talk about that blueprint and how you be a successful entrepreneur. How do you be a successful African-American entrepreneur? Because one of the things a lot of our kids are growing up with now, they don't get opportunity to see that.
No.
When I grew up in the 70s, we owned a lot of businesses in the 70s. We owned a lot of land. We owned a lot of stuff in the 70s. And now a lot of kids in our neighborhood don't get to see that no more.
Right.
Black businesses in our neighborhood is almost non-existent. So having to be able to do that and be able to show them that face on a daily basis for 16 years now, that's the prevention part. And then the part now with those that are change their life like me when I'm 31, 32 years old, now it's my thing, how do I work with those? Because we can't forget about the ones that are trapped out there. So now what I try to do is be able to teach them entrepreneurship skills. One of the things that Minister Farrakhan said to at the Million Man March in 1995 was that if you didn't have a job, your charge was to go back to your community and create one. I started my first business 6 months after that Million Man March. And I tell brothers and sisters all the time, when that door slams you in your face, you got to go around to the back door. And sometimes going around to the back door means getting your own. And if you get your own, it's hard to fire yourself.
There's another way.
That's right.
And even when you saying with the streets prepared me for my business, when they're on the streets selling whatever they feel as though will help them, live, they don't take no for an answer.
Oh, no, they don't take no for an answer. They know about product, they know about distribution, they know about organizational skills. They have everything that it takes to be a successful entrepreneur.
That is true.
And I really believe that when you look at the talent of those that are incarcerated, you know, the talent is humongous. When you look at those who ran organizations on the street, whether it's a street gang, a narcotics gang, whatever they did and did it well.
Well, right.
You know, those are the ones that, you know, if given the opportunity, I know that can change their life around through entrepreneurship.
Right. And just being able to see someone like yourself that was able to get over that hurdle. Because, you know, when you come out, it's like you're faced with a lot of different options and challenges. If somebody wanted to get this book, how could they do that?
Well, the book is on Amazon if you're a Kindle reader at www.amazon.com. You can order off my website. I tell people all the time to please order from my website because we self-publish the book. You can get it at Barnes & Nobles. And my website is www.ft2b, from the Block to the Boardroom, just F2TB2. And they can order it off there.com or hit me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, at Tracey Syphax. And we'll make sure we get them. Just like I told you earlier, you asked me about a copy. I said, I'm an old hustler. I keep them in my car.
He's like, I got you, I got you, I got you. He's like, can I get a book? I got you.
I always got it.
He's like, it ain't nothing but a word, ain't nothing but a word. But I know that a lot of people can look at this book and see themselves in it. So the thing is to make sure that they see themselves being successful. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So stay tuned. We have more of What's Your Point of View right after this.
It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Point of View. I am your host, Amanda Johnson, and we have another wonderful show lined up just for you. I want you to give a round of applause to our special guests, King and Chank. Now, King and Chank are going to give us their point of view on relationships. How you guys doing today?
Good. Can I put my feet up here?
That is a negative.
All right. Okay.
Oh, we're trying to do this.
Now, out of all the relationships that you've had, do you have any regrets?
It was one relationship with one girl, and it was like a on and off, and we were just like two people basically trying to spell love.
Yeah, I had one. I don't know.
Just didn't work out.
We've broken up and now I regret it. I said goodbye when I shouldn't have said it. I even cried, but I never meant it. And I don't know why, but I can't forget it.
I'm thinking why we not together. Me and you are missing letters, trying to spell love. I can't hold myself together. You sending me emojis, I'm sending you emojis. And the person that can't relate to this song is thinking, oh please, living every day like it's a fucking same. I heard you now, fucking with them lanes. I cut you off and trying to get you back. You know the story, all this and that. You addicted, girl, I should call you crack. But fuck it, that's a weird ass name. Trying to get over you is a pain. I guess I should stay in my lane.
We've broken up and now I regret it. I said goodbye when I shouldn't have said it.
So from this point forward, you're going to hold back on that love word.
I'll try.
You'll try.
It get you in.
I'm definitely holding back for now because, I mean,
It gets you a stalker. That's what it gets you. They're
know,
going to
I
be
like crazy
wifey on
chicks.
Facebook and Instagram and Mrs. Chank and all of that good stuff. You know how that is.
I'm gonna do a song like that, Mrs. Chank.
They going to be stuck. You got hold. Yeah. Push the brakes on that love word because it is We're very serious when it comes to the
I
ladies.
might use it one more time just to find me a Mrs. Chank.
Mrs. Chank.
Love don't
okay.
always come back around to you, so that's why you can't be throwing it out there.
I even cried, but I never meant it. And I don't know why, but I can't forget it. Forget it.
It's King. Baby, why you gotta act like that though? Why you acting like you can't text my phone? You serious? Quit playing, girl. Why you tripping? I ain't even text that hoe. Man, whatever. She thinking what happened to forever. Nah, fuck that shit, man, I'm off that shit. Now I'm moving on to something better. Now I'm doing me and I'm happy as shit. All up in the trees, feeling trippy as shit. I can't lie, I regret it sometimes. Damn, man, I miss that chick. So I hit her up like, what's up? She replied, hey, what's good with you? I said nothing much to make a long story short. Come to find out that she found someone new.
We've broken up, and now I regret it. I said goodbye when I shouldn't have said it.